After the questions by Arjuna in the first chapter, Adhyaya, Bhagavan started giving the discourse. And with the discourse, fully aware that the discourse itself being of the highest value that a mankind can receive, Bhagavan is aware of the difficulties and the doubts that would arise in the mind of a sadhaka, irrespective of his level of training. The best of the best sadhana, the people who do this sadhana, they also take Bhagavad Gita and come across the difficulties. So does a newcomer. Getting questions in the mind, getting confused about the clarity is almost an imperative or a mandatory thing in Bhagavad Gita. In fact, Bhagavan is so much aware of it that factually speaking, by second adhyaya, he is done. He has already told the philosophy and everything he has answered. But it was the answer given by Bhagavan for a person who is almost at the tip of the mountain. There is nothing else left for scaling. The problem is, each of us are standing at a different pedestal of our attunement with the Lord. Our level of knowledge, our level of sattvikata is different simply because over the past many births, we have accumulated sattva guna to a certain extent. If I have completed fourth standard examination, then I am eligible for the fifth standard examination. Neither fourth standard qualifies me for 10th standard, nor it means that I'll have to study again the first standard. So my past births have propelled me to a level of understanding, and my question that I get in my mind in Bhagavad Gita is according to the amount of sadhana I have done to develop the sattvikata in me. Bhagavan said, Arjuna, there is no war, you will not be dead, nobody actually can be dead, this all has happened in the past, this will always happen in the future, you were existing, I am going to exist forever, I have told this yoga to sun god. And all this is suddenly putting questions into the mind of Arjuna and naturally also to us that you were not existing, you are actually talking to me now, and how you say you taught to sun god, you say you cannot kill, but right now I'm taking my arrow to kill my own Gurudeva. How can you say that what I'm doing right now, I'm going to go and hunt I'm going to kill the enemy, and you say no, you are not going to kill the enemy? I am getting a question whether to fight or not, and you say that there is nothing you can do. I'm actually getting a question, and right now you are denying my own existence itself. And then the explanation of that, when Bhagavan said, Arjuna, the right understanding of this world is only for the people who are full of knowledge. Such people are called Sankhya people. Sankhya because the Sankhya word, which means that those who know what needs to be counted and have counted it. Countable is the world. And those who knew how to count it become Sankhya. So they are aware of the creation in totality, and simultaneously to be aware of the totality is to know that I am not the totality, I am out of this totality. I am the part of the totality, I am away from the totality. The totality does not exist without me, yet I am not an individual. Hum sab ma, sab hami ma, hum hai bahuri akela. Kabir Maharaj gives this description about himself. Now, when this Sankhya has been extolled in the third Adhyaya, Sannyas has been extolled in that particular Adhyaya, exalted to a different level. Arjuna has a question in mind, so do we, that I am not a knowledgeable person, I am not a person with knowledge, I am not Sankhya, so am I condemned now? I am gone. What do I do? Bhagavan said that, look, all PhDs are great people. All right, sir, but I am in the first standard, so I have no standing now. Should I leave the school and go? And the Bhagavan says that, look, for the others, they have to strive to reach the Sankhya by working on the capacities that they are endowed with, which Arjuna I call as yoga, karma yoga. That means studying is the destiny of yours. Abhyasa tu kaunteya. Keep doing the abhyasa in the karma way, in the karma yoga manner. You will automatically be qualified for becoming a Sankhya. So Arjuna made a mind that, all right, that means I have to do karma first, correct, as Bhagavan has said, and then I will get to the Sankhya level, or I'll become Jnani. If I'm going to become Jnani, then can I have a shortcut? Why get into first standard, second standard, third, fourth, fifth, 10th, etc.? Can I appear directly into the PhD class? Naturally, this question, because why unnecessarily waste time? That is what Arjuna thought. Bhagavan, knowing it very well, he said, Arjuna, first thing first. Because that is how the structure is, Arjuna. You have gone deep into the mud pool, almost to the tune of about 6 feet down you are gone, only the head is up. And now you say, I want to run. No, first you come out of the mud, get out of the stickiness, etc. Then you will be able to run. Yes, your intention, aim of becoming Jnani is the intention that is to be kept in mind, because Jnanavan labhate sarvam. That's the destination, that is the end. But to reach to the end, it is like a mountaineer going to Mount Himalayas for Mount Everest expedition and telling the coach that, why have this base camp, then camp 1, camp 2, camp 3? What if I go directly to Mount Everest? The coach will laugh. He will say, agreed. Intention is there. We have to go at the top only to Mount Everest, but we have to go through these base camps. Otherwise, we cannot reach there. And believe me, to come to this base camp and getting prepared for this camp and becoming fit for this camp and then going from one base camp to another base camp is a too difficult a thing compared to scaling it at the top. That is why karma yoga visheshyate. An illiterate person making his mind to come to the school and sit in the first standard is a far more difficult and really a commendable thing than a person already in fourth standard studying to go into the fifth standard. In a relative sense, Gurudeva has warned, karma yoga visheshyate doesn't mean Sankhya is not a visheshyate. No. In a relative sense, and the reason for that is very simple. All the ingredients for making Shrikhandam has been brought together. It is very difficult to bring them together and then, do the whole preparation and then create the Shrikhandam. Now, eating the Shrikhandam is most important, but not very difficult. Karma Yoga is preparatory, antecedent, proximate, serial in that sense. Now Arjuna is almost clear in his mind. Immediately with that clarity, Bhagavan has put another googly. Yet Sankhyahi prapyate sthanam tat yogahi api gamyate. Arjuna, what Sankhya get, same thing Karma Yogis also get. Ekam Sankhyam cha yogam cha ya pashyati sa pashyati. And this is again a further turn. Arjuna, Sankhya and Yoga, Pruthak Balaha Vadanti. I have already told you, those are childish people who say Sankhya is different, Yoga is different. Also, Ekam Sankhyam cha Yogam cha. Both are one only. The one who sees this sees correctly. Now the Arjuna's confusion has gone further up. There are points where Arjuna is again and again getting into the whirlpool, because he's feeling that I have got to the bank, and again he's going into the whirlpool. Now the question is, on one hand you say they cannot be combined together. Karma cannot be combined with Jnanam. With karma alone you cannot get Jnanam, because karma by virtue of the fundamental rule has to have a phalam, and Atma Jnanam is not a phalam. So karma alone cannot give mumukshata, moksha, salvation, Atma Jnanam, Brahma Darshanam. It's a fundamental rule. Acharya, Shankaracharya has given elaborate discussions in Brahma Sutra about it. If that is so, right now the Bhagavan is saying that, by karma where you reach by jnana also. Then why get jnana in between? Just do karma and reach to jnana, to the final stage. That is where the study of the shloka with each word becomes important. What is Bhagavan saying? Yat sankhyahi prapyate. The word prapya has come. What about yoga? Yogahi gamyate. Yogahi gamyate. Sankhyahi prapyate. Why do different words? Prapya means pra. The prefix is pra. Pra, apya. Apya. That which can be retained is called prapya. The word ap is water. That has also come from there. You can obtain water. That which can be received is called prapyate. And when you receive a thing, there is nothing left to receive. See the connotation. So that is the reason why. What is that prapyate? The Sankhya sthanam. They attain. Attaining is different than going. Gamyate, gam dhatu. Gam is to move, to go. Yoga api gamyate. Karma yogi also goes. Jnana yogi attains. See, one is qualifying thing, one is transforming thing. A pre-medical test qualifies you to go into medical college, but medical study in medical college makes you a doctor. Destination. But can I go directly into the medical? No, pre-medical is must. But how a father looks towards this, both the things, from his angle, pre-medical test is nothing else but logically it concludes into medical studies, and then logically it concludes into becoming a doctor. So he sees it as a flow, a dynamic flow. He doesn't see any difference between the things. Yes, they are stages. They are serially attached. No, but I will do simultaneously pre-medical test and study medical subjects also. No, you cannot do that. It will be useless. Because pre-medical is for qualification. Once you do pre-medical, then you are not supposed to do pre-medical again. You're supposed to study medical textbooks. What about studying directly medical textbooks? Not allowed. Why? You are not qualified by pre-medical test. Now the pre-medical test is Karma Yoga. Medical textbook is Sankhya. And Prapyate, doctor, becomes a doctor sthanam. Yet Sankhya Prapyate, attains sthanam. Tat. Yoga hi apigamyate. Yoga is also going also in the same line. Same lines means doesn't mean the same place. You are on the pilgrimage to Badrinath Dhama. So where are you? I'm in the pilgrimage to Badrinath Dhama. I have just reached, just left Haridwar and gone forward. What about you, sir? I am at the door of Badridhama. So what happened? The one who is at the door, Prapyate Sthanam. The one who is still progressing, but logically speaking, today he is there, tomorrow the other person will be there. So for a person who is looking at the whole procession, it will be like it is one and the same thing only. This gentleman is here. It is just the sthala kala difference from the point of time and space perspective. And that is because the evolution of divinity in a person is directly proportional to the activity so far undertaken. And that is why Gurudeva said, first of all, prapyate, attain. Attain is not something which was not there earlier and he attained now. Atma Jnanam is ever attained state which is forgotten by us. It is not a new state discovered. You don't invent yourself. You don't transform yourself. You just rediscover it. That is why Gurudev says it does not indicate a mere physical power act of perception, but it is the experience of the seer by the seer himself as himself. To see oneself as oneself. And that is why such a seeing is called Pashyati. Otherwise, it is called Drushya. Pashya and Drushya are two important verbs. Pashya is to look, behold. Drushya is to see. In Atma Jnanam, that is why when Vishwarupa Darshan was shown by Bhagavan, what did he say to Arjuna? Arjuna, Pashya, Prapashya. See intently and behold me. Behold means you don't see, drashya, don't see a thing. Seeing a thing implies a separatedness. Pashya, behold, you almost become. Anubhuti, bhutva, anubhuti. You become. I became happy. I saw happiness. No, you don't see happiness. You become happy. You see an object and then become happy. Agreed. Object is to be seen. Drushya. I become happy. Pashya. That is why when you become somebody, you can't say that because you have become that. How can you say something that you have become? You know what? I have become Dr. Jadhav. No, I don't say that because I am. In Atma Jnanam, that is why in Keno Upanishada, there are two beautiful mantras. Yadi manyase suvedeti dharam evapi nunam tvam vetta brahmano rupam. Oh disciple, hey Shishya, if you say, yadi manyase suvedeti, I know Atman, dharam eva api. Not a speck of Atman you have got. Why? The one who says I have got cannot get it. And one who has got will never know that he has got it. Naham manye suvedeti nona vedeti vedacha yonas tad veda nona vedeti vedacha. This mantra tells us one who knows meaning of neither do I know, nor do I know, neither do I not know, nor do I know, knows Brahman. A Sufi says same thing very beautifully. हम वहां है जहां से खुद हमको हमारी खबर नहीं आती. That is Brahma Jnanam. That is Pashyati. So Arjuna, once you understand this, you will see a clear connection between Karma Yoga and Jnani. Why I am telling this to you, Arjuna? For your welfare, understand where you are supposed to start. So don't try to directly become Gurudeva. Why? Gurudeva had already landed on this planet for the sake of the final 2-minute act and exit. I have a backlog of umpteen number of births and I want to do exactly what Gurudeva did. Not possible, sir. Who doesn't want to become Vivekananda? His biography is so inspiring that anyone who reads it feels that, oh my God, if I can have a life like that. Good, sir, very nice. That is a good inspiration, but it cannot happen. Why? Vivekananda is not made overnight. Gurudeva is not made overnight. It is made over births. Now that again disappoints me a lot. Oh my God, I don't know how many births, where I am. Sir, if you know only alphabets, you will be bound to be in first standard and then you will go to second. What is the point in crying about it? Because those who are now PhD were once upon a time in first standard. In Gurudeva's words, why you are worried about your sickness? You are sick, that is why you come to the hospital called Gurudeva Jnana Yajna. If this is the attitude, then a word of caution also is given by Bhagavan right away here. And Bhagavan says, Sanyasahatu Mahabhao Dukkham Aptum Ayogataha. Direct entry into the PhD, Arjuna, you will be ridiculed, you will be miserable, you will never succeed unless you go through the rank of first standard to post-graduation, then entry into the PhD. If you do not do ayogataha, that is the reason why every and anyone who thinks how nice one fine morning, leave everything and go to Himalayas, job done. A small little cave, nice looking eastwards so that I can look at the sun, sit there for meditation. And it is done. It will never be done, sir, this way. Had it been so, by dozens people would have got emancipated. It doesn't happen that way. Himalaya may be reachable by spending some money for the bus ticket, but the spiritual Himalaya cannot be reached unless you have walked through the entire Bharat Varsha, Bharat knowledge, full activity. Moment Bhagavan says this, we get disappointed. Oh my God, that means we have got no hope left. No, it is not that. It is a warning, a caution of not becoming upstart. In Adhyatma, there is nothing upstart. You have to start from the scratch, wherever you are. First thing is, look at your feet in spirituality. Where you are, I'm a good amount of selfishness is in me. My yajna, tapa, dana, these are my important acts in karma, but I don't do yajna, I don't do tapa. Austerity for namesake also I don't do, because I can't even skip my morning tea. So as far as austerity is concerned, I'm good for nothing. Danam, even after exhorting from rooftops, Venuji and everybody telling me, I have not given Guru Dakshina for last 10 months for the class which I attend regularly like a thick-skinned person. So that indicates about my Danam. If this is what my preparation is, this is what my feet are showing me, and what is my intention? Oh, I want to reach the height of spiritual pinnacle. Not possible. Then that is where Bhagavan gives a solace. Yoga yukto munihi. Arjuna, yoga yukto munihi brahma na chirena adhigachyati. Quickly, shigrataha, he will reach, provided he performs his actions properly. And actions should be purifying action. Every action should make us less selfish. Yoga yukta mana, Gurudev has given simple and beautiful definition. One who is well established in the path of selfless, unattached activities. It should be selfless, second, unattached. Selfless means the only way of doing a selfless action is to when you act for others. Every other action done for yourself is always a selfish action. For the child, the mother sacrifices, it becomes a selfless action. But moment it comes to another woman, it cannot be a selfless action. Why? Because then she thinks of herself. So yoga yukta manaha. What happens because of this selfless action? Selfless action is continuous hammering on the ego. Every single selfless action is a chisel on the ego, so that the ego gets truncated one step by step. And the word of caution given by Gurudeva is, it is not that you have just got frustrated with something and you gave up the action, so I am now a sannyasi. That is called Tridandi sannyas. That is called Vairagya sannyas. What is Vairagya sannyas? Kshana Vairagya. Somebody's father dies and we all say that, oh, what is there in life? Life is nothing. Aadmi aaj hai, kal nahi hai. Today is there, tomorrow is not there. After immediately 10 minutes, he says, I have to go to the office. What happened to the sannyas, sir? Yesterday you were feeling very bad. This kind of sannyasa will not work. There was a Sufi saint called Ibrahim Adhan. He was a king of Balkh. He was basking in wealth. One fine morning, one Sufi saint came to him. And the king asked him, yes, Maharaj, what is it? The Sufi saint said that, I want to stay in this hut. So Ibrahim Adhan said, sir, this is not a hut. This is not a dharmashala. This is my palace. He said, this is your palace? I want to sleep for one night and go. He said, sir, this is my palace. You cannot be sleeping here. He said, why? Because this is mine. The Sufi saint said, I came last time, somebody similarly looking like you was sitting here. He's no more there. The king said, sir, it was my father. Oh, he also said the same thing and he left. I thought everybody comes here and goes. So this is dharmashala only. This word was enough for the renunciation. Ibrahim Adhan left. Then there itself, the entire kingdom and became a Sufi king. And later on, when in his journey as a pilgrim, as a beggar, another beggar came to him and asked him, can I have 1 dinar? Ibrahim Adhan said, why should I give you a dinar? He said, I am very poor. He said, what did you give for becoming poor? The beggar didn't understand. To become poor, you don't have to give anything. He said, sir, to become poor, you don't have to give anything. The Ibrahim Adhan said, then your poverty has no meaning. Poverty where you have sacrificed yourself. A king, when it becomes a beggar for the sake of the Lord, that is called renunciation. That is why yoga yuktaha means one who is well established in that particular path. That is the reason why Gurudeva has given beautiful explanation here. Selfless and unattached activities. Performance of action is the only immediate thing in our hand, which if we do in the manner described by Bhagavad Gita, explained by Gurudeva, then karma itself can be the thing that will open the door for emancipation. Hari Om.